impose more progressive taxes, as Secretary Balisacan has suggested? And if even after all of these discussions, there is still opposition to lowering the VAT, then perhaps we can identify who are those who are against it and put to a vote the matter so that the public will know who is really against lowering the VAT.
Yo! Galing!
I agree. Thank you very much.
Nako, tama yan. Dapat ho talaga magkaalaman na kung sino dyan sa Kongreso ang pumipigil para mabawasan ang tax ngayong mga panahon na to, na kung saan napakahirap ng buhay ng bawat isang Pilipino dahil pa sa pagsipa ng presyo ng mga pangunahing produktong petrolyo. At dito sa video na to, yan na nga ho ba sinasabi natin, personal hong in-interview nitong si Auntie Claire, itong si Marcos Jr. Para doon sa mga nag-aalala sa kanya. Buhay pa ho siya. Dito sa video na to, ipapaliwanag ho niya kung bakit nangayayat ang mukha niya. Isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community. Yung join button, nandyan lang ho sa baba. Wala ho tayong maraming segue dito. Re-recta ho kagad tayo sa mga punto de vista nitong si Marcos Jr. Ano nga ba ang pinagdadaanan niya? Alamin ho natin dito kay Auntie Claire. Okay.
Tapos lamang po ng fourth meeting with the Private Sector Advisory Council Education and Jobs Sector Group.
Yes.
Usapan niyo doon, sir.
Yeah.
Ang Java matching.
Well, yung iuna natin dyan ay para dun sa mga nakauwi ng OFW. Paano ngayon sila? So, hinahanapan namin ng mga paraan para yung kung ready sila, makahanap sila ng bagong trabaho. Yung mga kailangan may training, meron yung dating sistema natin, in-accelerate na natin para mas mabilis ang maging training nila para makapasok na naman sila sa trabaho. Meron din kaming ginagawa para doon sa ayaw na maging empleyado ay magtatayo ng sariling negosyo. Nagtatayo sila ng sarili nilang negosyo, so we'll also help them with that. Kasama na din yung support sa mga pautang, etc. And the digitalization, of course, yung mga MSMEs kasi mapapasok yan sa MSMEs. So yun ang inuna namin. But of course, there are also all kinds of other issues. In terms of the new jobs that are napag-usapan na naman yung AI at kung paano natin kailangan accelerate yung AI integration into the system, not only government but the whole economic system. So yun, maraming mga suggestion na siyempre dahil na sa mga pangyayari sa Middle East, marami talagang pwede pang gawin na suggestion that came from the private sector side. Titingnan natin at marami naman talagang ang magandang naging resulta dito, yung iniisip gawin namin sa pamahalaan, we are very much in agreement with the private sector advisors kung ano yung dapat gawin to mitigate the effects of what is happening in the Middle East. So, tama yung but pareho ang aming thinking. We are, as I was saying, we are on the same page, ika nga.
Sir, the meeting lasted for more than 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
So, ang tanong natin, sir, isa't kalahating oras. So, para sa mga kababayan nagmamahal sa iyo, sir,
nagmamahal.
kamusta po ang kalusugan?
Para daw ho doon sa mga kababayan nating meron pa bang nagmamahal dito sa walang yang to? Nang kayendo-tendo to sambayan ng Pilipino dahil sa kabangagan nitong meron pa bang sige nga, meron pa bang siguro nagmamahal sa kanya si Martin Romualdez dahil biglang lumabong salin ni Martin Romualdez nung naging presidente itong pinsan niya. Sino pa? Ang kanyang asawa. Hindi lang dahil sa asawa niya. Dahil ika nga itong si Marcos Jr. Under siya dito kay Lisa Araneta Marcos. Kaya mahal na mahal siya ni Lisa. Yung mga anak niya, anak ng Tokwa, lahat ng luho ng mga anak niya ngayong mga panahon na to na ibibigay niya. Pati yung mga problema sa daan, may bentahe sila. Diba? Siguro yun mga nagmamahal sa kanya, pero sambahin ng Pilipino, pinirwesyo nitong bangag na to. Ewan ko lang mga kababayan.
Ganun pa rin. Yun na nga, I'm struggling kasi ayoko tumaba ulit. Nawala na yung taba ko, baka babalik. So that's what I'm taking care of. But I want to magpapasalamat naman ako sa mga nag-aalala sa akin. Huwag niyo pong masyadong siniseryoso. Alam mo naman ang social media, palabiro yan eh. At wala po tayong problema. I am back to my regular exercise. I've been back to my regular routine for the last 3 months na ito na patuloy lang.
Ano, sumisinghot ka na ba, Brad? Nag-aalmusal ka na ba ng tsongke? Regular routine daw eh. Hindi naman ako galing sa akin. Yung galing sa kapatid mo si Amy Marcos, di umano. Nag-aalmusal ka, tsongke. Di umano. Yun ang regular ano niya eh. Regular schedule niya. Di ba? Balik ka na ba doon? Langya ka.
Aking mga ginagawa, watching usual, doing my usual, watching my health, making sure that I'm always ready to do the work.
So yung diet mo, sir,
Oh,
wala okay na po?
wala nang bawal. Matagal nang more than 1 month na ako walang bawal. Actually, wala naman talagang bawal. Marami rin suggestion na iwasan ko itong ganito, iwasan mo yung masyadong mantikain, pero wala na yan. Hindi ko na masyadong iniisip na yun.
Reviews po yan.
Oh.
But anyway,
Tuloy-tuloy mo lang yung pagsinghot mo, Brad. Excited na kami na mabalitaan sa mga susunod na araw. Sa bagay, yung stage 4 na sinasabi na yun daw ang stage ni Marcos Jr. Sa tingin natin, ang stage 4 ho talaga ngayon ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Ang lagay ng ating bansa may cancer. Stage 4. At isa ho ito sa mga tumor. Pahirap di ba?
sir, mukhang may good news pa rin. Because the US and Iran agreed to have this 2-week ceasefire.
That's right.
What do you think po, paano ito makakatulong sa globally, sir, at sa atin?
Well, natural. Kasi kasama doon sa agreement na pinag-usapan na doon sa ceasefire na bubuksan ang Straits of Hormuz. Ibig sabihin, yung mga number 1, yung ating mga seafarer, libo-libo na naiiwan doon sa seafarer na nakaparking lang doon nag-aantay na makapasok o lumabas. So, magagawa na nila yung kanilang trabaho. Pangalawa, we will then hopefully be able, yung mga supply na nailakad natin nung habang nag-aantay.
Sa pagsasalita, oo Sa pagsasalita, oo. Wala kang masasabi sa kanya. Pero pagka nakatalikod na siya, alam ng mga kasama niya sa gabinete, singhot lang katapat ni Marcos Jr., solve na ang buto-buto. Kahit harap-harapan na ho siyang linuloko sa cabinet meeting, wala naman. Sa pagsasalita, oo Di ba? Pero pagdating sa pagdi-deliver, nako, 3 taon na ho mga kababayan. Lahat ng ginawa ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na kung saan napakagandang buwelo sana ngayong mga panahon na to, winasa ko lahat ng walang yung Marcos Jr. na yan.
Antay tayo ng bumukas, baka pwede na nang padaanin. At kasama na rin dyan yung naging arrangement natin sa Iran na pumayag naman sila na Philippine flag na vessel at pwede nilang padaanin. At yung mga supplies na papuntang Pilipinas, pwede nilang padaanin. And then, of course, to provide security and care of our seafarers. So we will take full advantage of the 2 weeks to increase our supply as much as possible and to continue to make whatever arrangements are possible. We are all hoping and praying that the 2-week ceasefire will extend further if the talks go well. I think that everybody around the table is willing and desirous, gusto nila na matapos na itong gulo na ito. So hopefully all the parties will come together. But we have the 2 weeks. We will take as much advantage of it as we possibly can by assuring the supply of petroleum products in the Philippines and hopefully being able to do something about the pricing kasi luluwag na ang market. So, it's a very simple demand and supply situation.
Very simple demand and supply. Loko-loko, sabihin mo yung mga kaibigan mong oligarko, bilyonaryo, lalong yumaman sa kalagitnaan ng problema na to. Ito na, punta na ho tayo dito kay Congressman Leandro Liviste. Game.
Who came to the House this morning, and you might have noticed them when you walked in. They are farmers, fisherfolk, and tricycle drivers from Batangas, and they are eagerly awaiting news if the House will approve any measure to lower taxes they pay, including the value-added tax. And I think the problem for many in the country now is it's now been 37 days into this crisis, and there has yet to be any aid given for much of the country, especially for the most affected sectors like transport workers. And yet we are still paying value-added tax every day. So it would be, I think, a more effective solution if we focus on tax reduction when our government has proven to be a little slow in distributing aid to the most affected sectors. So I would like to first ask the chair of the Ways and Means Committee, ang pagbaba po ng VAT from 12 to 10%, sa tingin po ninyo, Chair, ito po ay posible o imposible?
Lahat ng bagay posible.
Lahat po ng bagay posible. And
Pati paglalagay ng maleta, pera sa maleta, posible, di ba? Para dito kay Rep. Kimbo, asawa ni Stella Kimbo, di ba?
in my estimation, the majority of the members of this committee, if asked, will say they will vote in favor of this measure. Kaya nagtataka lang ako, bakit hindi pa ito naaprubahan? Sino po, Chair, kaya ang ayaw na ibaba ang VAT?
Pwede natin tanungin later on yun, Congressman Leon.
Sa inyong estimation, Chair, dahil matagal na natin tinatalakay ito, sino ang may ayaw na ibaba ang VAT?
Sigurado ako ikaw ayaw na hindi ibaba.
Tama. Pero you personally, Chair, if speaking on your personal capacity,
Well, like I've always said, as chair of the committee, it is our anticipation always that we make the lives of our countrymen easier and better.
Sa paanong kaparaanan? Nung vice chairperson ng APRO yung asawa mo, di umano yung chairperson pinagsisilid sa yung mga pera sa maleta. Di ba? Hoy, Kimbo!
That's always our core objective. The more progressive the tax is, the better, without putting in danger the fiscal or becoming fiscally irresponsible. Yun lang naman ang binabalanse natin parate. Wait, Len, are you asking me or are you asking the resource
I'm asking,
persons?
I think
Go ahead,
because
go ahead,
you
go
are
ahead.
the more important person
Go ahead,
to
go
answer
ahead,
a
go
question on
ahead. I
the
am deeply
approval of a
honored.
House
I am
measure.
deeply honored. Go ahead, go ahead.
But actually, that's my next question, Mr. Chair, which is, if almost all of us in Congress support lowering the VAT, then I think we should just put it to a vote and let the public see who of the 318 members of Congress supports lowering the VAT from 12 to 10% or supports suspending the VAT on petroleum, and let every member's vote be publicly known. What do you think of that, Mr. Chair?
I support that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. But I think it is
Yari ka dito, Kimbo. Kala mo makakakana ka dito kay Kong Lian, ha?
on the record that in the past hearings, the Department of Finance has expressed reservations on lowering the VAT. And there was a position paper submitted, if I'm not mistaken, on November 18, when the DOF said that it would result in increase of the deficit if there is no corresponding decrease in expenses. But there was a discussion that this could possibly be revised with new Secretary of Finance's appointment. May I ask the Undersecretary of Finance if the DOF plans to revise its position on lowering the VAT, or if it continues to disagree with the measure to lower the VAT?
Mr. Chair, I'll have to consult if we have resubmitted the position paper. I'll get back to you, sir.
So that we're not aware of any change in the position, so we can presume that the DOF is still against lowering the VAT from 12 to 10% for maybe reasons of fiscal responsibility. Would you agree, Undersecretary Adriano?
Mr. Chair, I'm just checking if we have submitted a new position paper, but I confirm that in our previous position paper, we mentioned that we have expressed reservation due to the fiscal implication.
And what is the DOF's position on suspending the VAT on petroleum products?
Mr. Chair, we don't have an official position paper on that yet, but we are studying that proposal.
Is it possible that we will suspend the VAT on petroleum products this year, or is that not currently the direction of the DOF?
Mr. Chair, that would be subject for a discussion of the economic management.
There is currently no plan to suspend the VAT on petroleum products.
There is no recommendation yet to suspend.
May I ask the views on the matter by the Secretary of the Department of DepDev, Secretary Balisacan? Of course, we all know that lower taxes are good if the country can afford it, but the question, of course, is how can we manage the deficit? And I suppose logically we can either reduce expenses or increase other sources of revenue. Do you support, Mr. Secretary, lowering the VAT?
I support any tax reforms that improve the progressivity of the tax system. We have looked at the progressivity of lowering or suspending the VAT, and if your objective is to improve the welfare of the large majority of our poor, and you would want the incidence of the tax to be very, very favorable to the poor, then that is not the answer. So I think that you have to look at closely and who is bearing the cost, and then of course I will support lowering those taxes if you can identify, if Congress can also identify new sources of tax revenue, because the fact is, as we
Ito naman si Sheko, oo. Noong nagnakaw ng trilyon sa kaban ng sambihin ng Pilipino, di naman tayo naghanap ng bagong source of income eh. Di naman naghanap ang Congress ng bagong source of income eh. Bakit ngayon tatanggalin natin yung VAT na yan o babawasan natin yung tax na yan? Kailangan pa nating maghanap ng alternative source of... Pambihira talaga.
as we grow, there is a much more demand for public services, quality public services, better transport system, better...
Anong better transport system? Anong better public service? Si Raulo ka ba? Naiinit mo ulo ka.
You know,
Tusin-tuto.
so we need more revenues. Of course, given that we can improve the governance for spending, but given that, we still have to think about raising revenues and raising it in a way that is progressive for our society. If you can identify revenues that achieve that objective, I am in favor of lowering taxes that burden our population.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate that it seems, Mr. Chair, DepDev is warm to the idea of lowering the VAT. I really then wonder who is behind not lowering the VAT? If even the good Secretary of DepDev
Mr.
seems
Chair.
to be in favor.
Point of information.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, we're talking about finance. May I just know if the Secretary of Finance will be here?
May we ask Yusek Adriano, will the Secretary of Finance be coming this afternoon?
Mr. Chair, the Secretary actually sends his apology that he will not be able to attend the hearing today because I think he has a meeting in Malacanang today po.
Mr. Chair, napaka-importante po itong ating pinag-uusapan at malaking bahagi ng solusyon. Kung mag-aaproba tayo ng bayanihan, tungkol po sa finance. So, baka pwedeng humabol. Kung sa Senate po, mahabol yung mga secretary, baka pwedeng humabol dito sa House.
Could you kindly inform the Secretary of Finance? We have not seen him actually here in the House, not once. Maybe it's high time for him to be present so we can hear from him personally. I'm sure he's extremely competent to be able to overcome all the questions that will be raised here.
Mr. Chair, we will relay the message.
Okay, thank you very much, Kong Egay.
Yes,
Please,
and-
please proceed, Leanne.
And I'm thankful for any opportunity to discuss various matters further with DOF and DepDev. I did want to ask the Secretary's opinion on the possibility of an across-the-board cut on personnel services because in the Secretary's first time in NEDA, I'm sure the budget was much smaller and yet good work was produced. If I'm not mistaken, personnel services in the 2026 budget are now approaching 1.9 trillion pesos, and yet used to be maybe around 1/3 of that. Would you say, Mr. Secretary, that it is possible to have an across-the-board cut on personnel services in government?
I don't think that across the board would be the proper formula, because on the one hand, we see significant need for more teachers, for example. The education sector has a lot of problems. And
So if we are to remove education, health, other crucial government agencies, perhaps in some other agencies we
Some
can
other- yeah,
have reduction in personnel services.
Yeah, I believe so, that there are probably some agencies there that...
Yes, because I just think that it's hard for the public to accept that we cannot lower taxes when we have yet to see any plan for how greater austerity measures can be imposed in light of the current economic crisis.
Yan.
Mr. Chair, the current situation now is not just about the crisis. It's also about, even after the crisis, we have a debt that's quite huge, and much of that debt actually was carried over from the COVID crisis, and you have to serve that. You have to raise revenue for that, for the services. And then in addition,
Pati COVID. Kung hindi ninakaw yung pera ng sambayan ng Pilipino, yung pagbabayad na yan, wala tayong poproblemahin. Baka hindi tayo nangungutang. O kung mangungutang man tayo konti, huwag mong idahilan yung COVID. Anak ng tokwa. Yung pinag-uutang ni Marcos Jr., nagbenta nga tayo ng ginto, nagbenta tayo ng kung ano-ano, nasa na yung pera na yun? Buisit na balisakan to.
as we will...
Uy, balisakan si Raulo ka ba? Ginto, binenta. Mga program appropriation, nangutang ang administrasyon ni Marcos, tapos idadahilan mo COVID? Lang nyo. Nangitim ka na lang sa kasinungalingan mo, ha?
try to catch up with our neighbors. There's
Hindi
so
tayo makaka-catch up kung puro ka pag nanakaw lang ginagawa sa administration itong si Marcos Jr.
much that we have to do to make our industries more competitive.
Kung liya, huwag kang magpapabola dyan sa balisakan na yan. Anak ng tokwa, ano yan, ika nga kasama sa galamay ni Bangag yan.
To make our
Pangalan pa lang balisakan. Di na mapagkakatiwalaan no?
our people have access to better services, particularly
Tigilan mo kami dyan sa better services mo yan, balisakan.
connectivity, transport. You need revenues.
Yes, thank you,
How
Mr. Chair.
I wish that is the focus also of our...
Asan yung services? Asan yung better connectivity, better transport? Mula nung umupo yung amo mong Bangag, meron naman tax. Asan yung better services? Ngayong may krisis, ibigay nyo na sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Bawasan nyo yung VAT, tanggalin nyo yung buwisit na VAT na yan. Anong better services?
our discussion, how to raise more efficient, more progressive revenues, because by just focusing on reducing the taxes, then we'll miss a big picture. My fear, if I may say so, I express my view here, is that in our effort to respond to the needs of addressing the current crisis, we may be making it even more difficult if we are not careful in the design of such response to getting back to a better and future. And we have had such a long history of being in a crisis, and it took us so much longer to come back to it compared to the experiences of our neighbors. And that's because we mismanaged the fiscal, for example. We ended up with debt that's higher than necessary, and that led to a lot of problems: higher interest rates, higher inflation, and with that.
Alam ko na, itong balisakan na to, itong nambobola kay Marcos Jr. Kung ano sinasabi ni Marcos Jr., ito sinasabi ni balisakan Itong gunggong na to ang nambobola kay Marcos Jr. Itong mama na to, better services, better connectivity. Kaya kailangan natin magbayad ng tax. Ni isa sa mga sinabi mo, lang yaka, wala kami nararamdaman.
the prospects for us to attract investments will be much dimmed. And if the future that we are seeing for next year is going to be like that, then we have done much more harm to the economy than.
Ano ba bang harm ang naranasan natin na naranasan na sambayan ng Pilipino na mas lalala doon sa ginawa ng amo mo na pagnanakaw sa kaban na sambayanan? Lalala pa ba doon sa 800 billion na pisong ninakaw? Pag daw tinanggal ang VAT, binawasan ang tax, malaking problema. Pero yung trilyong pisong pagnanakaw sa kaban ng sambayanan, walang problema. Palakpakan ho natin si Balisacan. Yan ang mga hindi dapat pinapaupo sa pamahalaan. Puro ganyan, puro dakdak. Walang output. Puro salita. Yung Balisacan na to.
We tried to do, to achieve for.
Yes, and thank you, Mr. Chair, for highlighting the need for more progressive tax measures. If there is time for an extended discussion with the DOF, then it would be good to discuss this whether later today or another day. But I do know that time is short now. And I did want to ask one last question.
Congressman, that is your last
Yes,
question, please.
A last
Go
question
ahead.
directed to the Bureau of Customs. Can you please expound on how much is lost to smuggling every year? And, well, if I can have a follow-up after you answer that.
Well, there are different data provided to the Bureau of Customs, Your Honor. I think the largest at one point is for fuel alone is about 40 billion pesos. That was before we implemented the fuel marking program that ensured that all tax-paid fuel are marked accordingly.
What about for all smuggling?
Well, UN trade data, Your Honor, in comparing it to the export values being declared by other countries varies. But I think on the average, it's about 60 to 100 billion a year. That was, but there were reconciliation already made by the Bureau, especially with China, which lowered that amount already.
Because I think we were discussing that it could actually be in the hundreds of billions, but maybe this could be the subject of another further inquiry on smuggling. But I just am trying to respond to the need to raise more revenues without further...
Alam niyo mga kababayan, yung ginagawa nila na yan, dyan sa House of Representatives, wala hong kaibahan yan doon sa certified as urgent nitong si Bangag, doon sa Independent People Commission. Ngayon, para masabi lang na mayroong ginagawa ang mababang kapulungan ng Kamara sa direktiba ng Malacanang, nag-uusap. Nagsasayang lang kayo ng pera, mga buwisit kayo. Sayang na naman ang pera sa hearing nyo na yan. Wala naman mangyayari dyan. Parang yung Independent People's Commission. Nag-Independent People's Commission tayo, wala naman palang kwenta. Tinapos ng House of Representatives. Hindi naman inaksyonan ng hindi naman talagang binayo ng Malacanang. Hindi naman nagmaterialize. Walang nangyaring Independent People Commission. Hindi na isa batas. Anong nangyari doon sa ICI? Walang ngipin, walang pangil. Pero may pondo. Yun ang importante. Saan kaya napunta yung pondo nila, no?
burdening the people and in fact
Nakaw kayo,
creating fiscal space for
Sira
further
ulo kayo,
tax decreases if we could clamp down
Wala yung
on
mga
smuggling
bitaw kayo,
at the Bureau of Customs. Because maybe our kababayans don't recognize that the reason we're paying 12% VAT is because maybe 1/3 of potential taxes are not being collected. If only they were collected, perhaps we could be paying only an 8% VAT. If we could clamp down somewhat, then perhaps we could afford to pay a 10% VAT. But according to your estimates, it's closer to 100 billion and not in the hundreds of billions.
Yes, Your Honor. That's on the latest data that being provided. And we welcome that suggestion, Your Honor. In fact,
Thank you.
one of the answers that we're looking for is the complete automation or digitalization of the Bureau. We're trying to wrap up the procurement of that particular endeavor within the year so we can implement it next year. That will answer to a lot of loopholes. And just to inform Your Honor, For your information, Your Honor, the Bureau of Customs for the first 3 months of the year, we've already hit, we're on track of hitting our targets. In fact, we're at a surplus of about 3 billion pesos.
Yes, my comment,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair, is just
Thank you,
that I hope we
gentlemen.
can look for a way to make the revenues so that we can afford to lower the VAT rate or cut on expenses, because we can't just assert that the country cannot afford to lower the VAT, Mr. Chair, without showing that we've really exhausted efforts to lower expenses, even starting here in Congress and across government agencies, or impose more progressive taxes, as Secretary Balisacan has suggested. And if even after all of these discussions, there is still opposition to lowering the VAT, then perhaps we can identify who are those who are against it and put to a vote the matter so that the public will know who is really against lowering the VAT.
Yung galing.
I agree. Thank you very much,
Siyempre mag-a-agree si Kimbo, lang naman kumontra. As always, maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta sa PH Update. Wag ko kayo basta-basta magpapabutol ngayong mga panahon na to. Mahalin ho natin ang Pilipinas. Saludo kong Lian ha. Diyan sa, ika nga, pakikipagdigmaan mo diyan sa bulwagan na yan para sa kapakanan na sambay ng Pilipino. Dahil wala na kaming aasahan sa karamihan ng mga kasama mo diyan, kumbaga, masaya tayo. Meron tayong isang Congressman Lian Lebiste ngayong mga panahon na to. Palakpakan ho natin muli ang ating senator. Pwede. Ito parang ano to eh. Sa tingin ko, hindi na makukurap to kasi marami ng pera to eh. Di ba, sir? Di ba, sir? Dapat bigyan mo ng konti yung mama mo. Wala kayo dyan. Malino natin, Pilipino.